What's up, and welcome to another edition of Locked On NBA, the biggest stories, the local experts. As always, I'm your host, Jackson Gatlin, also host of Locked On Rockets right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Today, we're going to be chatting with Big Dave of Locked On Bulls, as the Bulls are now squarely atop the Eastern Conference off of a pair of insane buzzer beaters from DeMar DeRozan. Should DeRozan be in the MVP conversation this season? But first, a quick message from our friends over at Built Bar, because look, it's the new year, and that means New Year's resolutions. If yours is about getting fit or eating healthier, make sure you include Built Bar in your plan. Built Bar is the protein bar that tastes like a candy bar, or honestly, even better than a candy bar. Built Bar makes it easier to stick to your resolution because it tastes so good. You'll want to eat it, unlike other protein bars, which can be gritty or chalky, or just, the consistency is off. Built Bar is amazing. They've got so many amazing flavors to choose from: strawberry, raspberry, mint brownie, double chocolate, cookies and cream. My personal favorite, the coconut brownie chunk. You can't go wrong with a single flavor on their menu, and you can check them out. Just visit built.com and use promo code LOCK15 to get 15% off your very next order of the best tasting protein bars on the market. Again, that's promo code LOCK15 for 15% off at built.com. Joining us now is Big Dave from Locked On Bulls. Dave, this Bulls team is just good, and at the heart of it is DeMar DeRozan, coming off of a pair of insane game winners. Talk about a way to close out last year and start the new year right. A pair of insane game winners, first against the Pacers, then against the Wizards. The first player in NBA history to have buzzer beaters on back-to-back days. Walk me through your reaction to these game winners.
Oh man. Well, the Pacers one, I actually was sitting at home with my mother, and I'm watching the game and we're having dinner, and he goes up and he hits the shot, and I don't go crazy because I'm sitting right next to her. So I don't go crazy, even though she knows she's a huge sports fan too. But I'm trying to be nice, I was like, wow, did you see what happened? This is nice, right? And stuff like that. The next day, New Year's Eve, that game when he hit that shot, I lost it. I completely lost it. I didn't care who that, people were around me. I just went absolutely crazy. I was out of my seat. That was absolutely insane because the Indiana one, that one, it felt like, yeah, we should have a chance to win this game. They didn't play great, but Indiana played much better than they did. But it still felt like they had a shot, to win it. And I wasn't surprised that they won it. The Washington game, I don't even think they belonged in. You could tell they were lost. They were slower. They were injured. Javonte Green wasn't out there. You could tell they didn't have it, but it doesn't matter, man. When you're a team that's a winning team, these are the kind of things that happen to you.
And Kuzma had that big shot at the end of the Wizards game too, and I thought
Yeah,
that was going to
yeah.
be, the game winner. And then DeMar DeRozan had other plans, and the degree of difficulty on those shots, right? The one-legged pull up against the Pacers, and then the double clutch in the corner against the Wizards. Right. The Bulls are sitting squarely atop the Eastern Conference now, and I think DeMar DeRozan has to be in the MVP conversation this season, right? Like he's got to be there.
Yeah, no question about it. These two are just two huge stamps on that to why you have to have this discussion. The man has been absolutely phenomenal. He's been my most surprising player on the Bulls because I knew he would be good. I knew he would come in and do his thing because he's DeMar DeRozan. I wasn't expecting MVP level greatness. I wasn't expecting the set like Kobe Bryant looking 3-point shots to win the game. Like I wasn't expecting that kind of thing. And it's been a beautiful surprise. But yeah, you have to have them in there. You're the top team in the East when nobody has you there. I don't care if you had the Bulls in the top three, you didn't have them one. So having the Bulls as the top team in the East, seeing how well DeMar DeRozan has just acclimated and has meshed with the team, has bonded and gelled, especially with Zach LaVine, who a lot of people said they were concerned about their chemistry. They didn't know how it would work. Well, it's been working pretty well. It's been looking pretty good, man. So all those things and kind of what he's brought to the team, it reminds you of what Chris Paul kind of did last year, for the Phoenix Suns. That's kind of the same thing I'm seeing here, but he should definitely be in the conversation, no question.
All right, he comes in and he brings that veteran edge that I've kind of been there. I've been through these waters, and kind of is pulling together all the other younger guys on this Bulls team. And how do you think, Dave, this Bulls team is, shaping up compared to the other top teams in the East? You're right. You talked about nobody had the Bulls one, right? You might have had them, 4 or 5, maybe lower, maybe higher. But how
Right.
do you think they're shaping up against, the Milwaukee, Miami, Brooklyn? Where do you think they stand against those other teams?
Yeah, that's where it gets interesting, right? Because those teams actually have, I guess, the kryptonite for the Chicago Bulls. Not so much the Nets, even though Kevin Durant is the kryptonite for everybody. It's just what he is. All right. It's Kevin Durant. You have no answers for that. But I think the Bulls can actually defend better against the Nets because the Nets are not a great defensive team either. So they don't have that size either that kind of bothers the Bulls. It's much different with Milwaukee. No, again, nobody has anything for the Greek Freak, but they have the size and the defense in Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton. And then you got more size on top of that with Robin Lopez, with DeMarcus Cousins, with Bobby Portis, and guys like that. And they're the champions. And when you win a ring and you're trying to repeat, it changes you as far as for the better. You know how to win and things you need to do to get back to that level. So they are an issue. Miami Heat definitely an issue. You saw how they handled the Bulls in those 2 games that they played. The Bulls didn't look like themselves in either game. The first one, Miami didn't play a great game. They still won by 3. The second one, they lost their minds from the 3-point line and blew the Bulls out. And Dwayne Dedman was looking like Hakeem Olajuwon against Vooch, and I was just quite upset about that. Dwayne Dedman cannot be giving you the business, all right? That is not a part of the protocol. But they definitely have some work to do when it comes to that in the playoffs. But the Bulls, man, I'm not scared of these teams. That's the whole point of this. I'm not scared, and they definitely have a shot to beat them for sure.
Coby White joined the Bulls late because of his shoulder rehab, and then he missed some time due to health and safety protocols. But now he's in the starting lineup for this
Mhm.
team across this most recent 7-game winning streak. How impactful has his return been for this team?
It's been amazing. And if you've been listening to me on Locked on Bulls, I've been screaming about Coby White, and Bulls fans needing to be patient. And on the next episode, I got a lot to say about Coby White. So you might want to check me out if you like hearing a dude yell and scream and be happy, because there's going to be a lot of that. But Coby White is just vitally important to this team. I kept saying he hadn't played for 6 months. You don't do anything for 6 months. It's going to take you a while to get reacclimated. And then when he gets back in, he has to go into COVID protocols. You know what I'm saying? So that changed it a little bit. But now he got put in the starting lineup again because Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso aren't there. It gave him time to figure it out where he needs to be at. And if you watch his point guard play, it's gotten so much better. He is much more patient. He doesn't rush many things. In these last 2 games, he's played well over 30 minutes. He's had 1 turnover in both of those games. That is not the Coby White we're used to seeing. And also defensively, Coby White is better, which is also not the Coby White that you're used to seeing. He's been awesome defensively. We know what he can do offensively for the team. They don't win either of those games that we just discussed without Coby White scoring. It does not happen. So he has been huge, and I think he will continue to be huge as a piece coming off the bench that can get hot at any moment, but also can now provide you the other things that I just discussed as far as being a better point guard and being a better defender.
I had my questions about this Bulls team coming into the season.
Sure,
Just
sure.
so many pieces being thrown together, all it not quite last minute, right? But just trying to get it all to mesh right away, right? And they've gelled really quickly. But I think most of my questions stem defensively, especially with Vucevic in the middle for this Bulls team. I was wondering, okay, how are they going to make this thing work defensively? They're flirting with being a top 10. I mean, they're currently a top 10 defense, but they're right
Right.
there, on the cusp. How are they making things work defensively with this group of guys?
Well, my easy answer is Billy Donovan. I wasn't concerned about their defense coming into this season because last year they had much worse players defensively. I mean, we had Denzel Valentine out there. Come on now. It was much worse players defensively out there. And the Bulls were 12th in defense. They were still 12th because of Billy Donovan, because of Mo Cheeks, because of Chris Fleming on the bench. Those guys, schooling those guys. Now, this year, on top of that, when you're 12th in defense, you bring in 2 of the best unball perimeter defenders in the game in Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso, who both should be first team all defense. That's what it's looking like right now. You bring both of those guys in here, and then you apply that effort, with Zach LaVine And with Vooch is good. If you look at numbers wise, he's just average. You know what I'm saying? That's all I need him to be. I don't need him to just be Rudy Gobert or anything like that. I just need him to be average, and that's fine for me. But the key of it all, Jay, is I think defense is contagious. Offense isn't contagious to me, because nobody wants to miss a shot. Okay, nobody shoots to miss, but everybody can control their effort on defense. That is a thing that you can do. You control how much effort you put into that. Seeing Caruso, seeing Lonzo Ball, Ayo Dosunmu, the rookie, who has been phenomenal also on defense, seeing those guys and how they're out there defending is contagious, because then you watch Zach LaVine step his up, DeMar DeRozan step his up, Vooch steps his up, Javonte Green's a good defender, Derrick Jones Jr. also playing defense. Tony Bradley he's a backup center, but he knows he's tall, which is all I need him to know, that he's 7 feet tall and he acts like it. That's all I care about. So it's all very, very contagious in that team as far as when it comes to them playing defense. And you're seeing it every single night, man. It's really fun to watch.
What's the latest on Alex Caruso's foot injury, and when can we expect him back?
He's still rehabbing. He is practicing. He was at practice. Or I should say shoot around, getting shots up with the team before they left for Indiana. So he's still doing that. I personally expect him back in another week. That's just my opinion. He might be back sooner than that. I wish I knew more people on the inside of the Bulls so I can give you a better answer for that. But that's just my opinion. I expect him back within that time. And that's what's great about the Bulls during this stretch without him going 5-0 is the fact that it gives him time to heal and gives him time to, get right and correct. So you don't have to stress him about coming back, because he is vitally, vitally important to this team as far as their defense is concerned, especially with the second unit.
Dave, a pleasure talking Bulls hoops with you. You're going to have us covered for everything Chicago Bulls over at Locked On Bulls. Thanks for stopping by Locked On NBA with me.
JG, appreciate you, my man.